Want to hear something shocking? Joseph Parker called 911 because he thought his wife had come back from the dead, shot in the head, and placed in the freezer. Days later, Joseph returns to find his wife still alive. Unbelievably, authorities released this 911 call, which, when you hear it and know the story, you understand it's not just chilling, it's downright cold.
Location emergency.
Got 246 Clydesdale Lane.
Okay, what's going on?
Alright, this is what's happened. I've been married 12 years. On the 4th, which would have been 2 nights ago at 4 a.m., I shot my wife in the temple of her head. I thought I killed her. And I put her in the freezer out in the garage. Well, I checked on her tonight, and she's not dead. She's got a big hole in the temple of her head, and to get her body moved around in there. I think I broke her wrist. She was frozen from being in the thing. She's been in the thing 48 hours now. This is no prank call. I need somebody to get out there and help her out.
What was going on at the Parker home? Was there any chance of actually helping Samantha out? That thing that she'd been in for 48 hours now, the freezer, not actually suitable for life. This case has all the makings of a truly crazy story, a murder, a manhunt, and some wild misconceptions about what is true love. This is the chilling story of Joseph and his wife, Samantha Parker. Very early in the morning, at 2:45 a.m. on Friday, November 7th, 2014, emergency services in Springfield, Tennessee received a disturbing 911 call from Joseph Parker. He told the dispatcher that 2 nights earlier, at 4 a.m. on November 5th, following the night of their 12th wedding anniversary, he had shot his wife, Samantha Parker, in the head. Believing that she was dead, Joseph put his wife's body in the freezer and left her there for several days. Joseph waited nearly 48 hours to contact help, and he didn't call 911 until he had vacated his home.
I've cleared the premises. I've got away. I'm not going to be there. But I promise you this is a legit call, and I need somebody to get out there and help her, because I still love her. It's hard to believe that after that, but I need to get somebody out there to help her.
Okay, what happened that caused you to do that?
It's a long story. Don't want to get into it. Just want to get into getting somebody out there to help her. I left the front door open. I left all the lights on in the house, so it would be kind of easy to spot. It's the last house on the right on Clydesdale Lane. But I left the front door open, and she's in the garage. You go through the kitchen to get into the garage, and you'll see her once you get in the garage. And she's a mess. She can't talk. It's a blink. Blink once means yes. Blink twice means no. And so I told her I'm gonna go down the road 10, 15 miles. I'm gonna call 911 and get you some help out here. I thought she'd been dead 2 days, and when I checked on her, she was still alive. She's been frozen for 2 days. She's frozen solid. It's amazing she's still alive. hole in the temple of her head. I shot her with a 38 caliber handgun, and there's a big hole in the temple of her head. I didn't see an exit wound.
What is her name?
Samantha Parker.
Is she a white female?
Yes,
How old is she?
43 years old.
And how long ago did you leave there?
An hour ago.
And that's the last time you saw her?
Yes, that's the last time I saw her.
And she was still in the garage?
Yes, she's still in the garage. I made her as comfortable as I could make her. She tried to drink a little water. She couldn't talk, couldn't move her jaw. She's in bad shape. Really need to get somebody out there to help her.
And the address is 246 Clydesdale Lane?
Yes, ma'am.
Unsure of what to expect, police and paramedics arrived to find the home as described, with lights on and doors open. The house was unbelievably clean, with one witness calling it immaculate, spotless, and without a speck of dust. Just as he'd said, investigators found Samantha Parker's partially dismembered body inside of an upright freezer in the garage. However, Samantha was most decidedly dead, and Russell Gupton of Robertson County Emergency Medical Services said that there was, quote, no possibility of her being alive at all. Samantha was dead and had been for quite a while. There had been no blinking, no communication. Was it a lie or all in his head? She had been born Samantha Klaus in Galion, Ohio on August 16, 1970. Samantha was described as a friendly and outgoing person who loved football games, country music, and going to the beach. Her friends and family remembered her as someone who was always willing to lend a hand, someone who enjoyed helping others and being with loved ones. Police secured the home and called in the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation to assist.
Okay, what is your name?
My name is Joe. I'll just leave it at that. Don't want to get arrested tonight and all that. So we don't have a history of domestic disputes. We've never had to call police and up. We just had a real bad night a couple of nights ago. Waving the gun around. Got myself in trouble. So, anyway, really need somebody to get out there and help her.
Okay, we'll send somebody out there to her.
I mean, it's like urgent. I think she's dying. She got a big hole where the temple of your head is. You know what I mean?
Right.
So please, I love her. I still love her. I've loved her every day I've been married to her. She's had a rough stretch here. Anyway, checked on her and she's still alive. Now I want to get her somebody to help her that knows what they're doing. And I got to stay out of trouble too. So.
Okay, we'll send somebody out there.
What was your first name?
I'm not going to give you my name, sir.
Okay, that's fine. Hey, make a note on there. I left the front door open and all the lights are on. And you go to the garage, you can't yell for you. You can't yell. But you go to the garage, and that's where you'll see her once
somebody out there.
If she needs, paramedics, she needs everything. She needs an ambulance, she needs trauma. She's trauma. I mean, she's a trauma base. She might need a helicopter. So please get somebody to her.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's the 911 call, or most of it anyways. I did cut a really short bit at the beginning when Joseph is explaining where he lives and he spells out his address, but this is, 99% of that call, and a lot of it is sort of just, what the craziness, But honestly, towards the end, it gets really painful to hear. The way he goes on and on about still loving her and about just how much help she needs, it's infuriating in addition to being horrifying. And so now this guy, he's out there. Joseph has killed his wife and he's taken off with a weapon. Detectives need to find him. And on one hand, Joseph had reached out to authorities on his own to seek help. Despite his actions, he had conveyed what sounded like maybe some level of real concern for his wife's well-being. And detectives made the decision to call Joseph Parker back. He answered his cell phone at about 3:45 that morning. He told officials that he was, quote, on the interstate headed to Chattanooga to visit friends. But Joseph wasn't quite as calm or concerned about his wife on this phone call. Now, authorities have not released the audio from this conversation, but apparently it was during this call that Joseph threatened to go to Rivergate Toyota and, quote, kill multiple people. Rivergate Toyota was a car dealership where Joseph had previously worked as a car salesman, but he had lost his job, and it seems that the lost wages had contributed to the family's stress and to Joseph's deteriorated mental state. Metro Police sent up a helicopter and put up a command station at the dealership, and they waited all morning for Joseph to arrive. It didn't require a forensic look at the family's finances to see that they were in trouble. After losing his job, Joseph and Samantha's debts had begun to quickly accumulate, and their home was about to be foreclosed on. The house was a modest 3-bed, 2-bath near the Oakland Farms neighborhood of small-town Springfield, Tennessee, about 30 miles north of Nashville. They had bought it new 8 years earlier, in 2006, 4 years after their wedding and 14 years after the birth of Mackenzie, the daughter that they raised together. Mackenzie, who was 22 and a mother herself in 2014, no longer lived in the home with her parents at Clydesdale Lane, but she had remained close with both of them, and Mackenzie later recalled speaking with her mom, Samantha, on the phone for the very last time. Mackenzie noted that Samantha's tone was unusual, and you could tell that something was wrong. But still, Mackenzie had no idea of what was to come. Neighbors said that the couple had kept to themselves. Descriptions of Joseph ranged from quiet and stern to mellow and friendly. He had been arrested a few times for DUIs in the early 90s. But like he had said, there was no record of domestic violence in their relationship. And they had, by all accounts, a normal, happy marriage. But by noon that Friday, police had issued a warrant charging Joseph with his wife's murder. They warned the public that he was armed and dangerous, and asked that if anyone came in contact with Joseph to not approach him, but to call 911. They issued an official alert and added him to the state's top 10 most wanted list, describing Joseph as a white male in his mid-40s, 6 foot tall, and 200 pounds. They believed that he had fled in his white 2007 Toyota Camry with Tennessee license plates. According to Springfield Police Chief David Thompson, Joseph's cell phone pinged in Nashville. He had told authorities that he was traveling on I-24 South towards Chattanooga. However, when Metro Nashville police spotted his vehicle, it was on I-65, and he was headed north. Tennessee law enforcement tracked Joseph to the Kentucky state line, where Kentucky State Police took over. Local news station WDRB reported that they attempted to pull Joseph over at mile marker 10 at about 3:45 p.m., approximately 13 hours after he had called 911. Reports show that 2.5 miles later, past mile marker 12, Joseph pulled over to the right side of the road and shot himself when officers approached the vehicle. The following Monday, November 10th, the lead investigator on the case, Springfield Police Detective Madison Burnett, reported that toxicology results for Joseph and Samantha's autopsy were still pending. While the home had been incredibly clean, evidence indicated that Samantha's dismemberment had occurred in the garage. However, the detective was uncertain if authorities would be able to determine exactly when and where Samantha had been killed. A celebration of Samantha's life was held Saturday morning, November 15th at Calvary Baptist Church. She was buried in a family plot at Greenbrier Cemetery in Greenbrier, Tennessee, while Joseph was interred 40 miles away at Harpeth Hills Cemetery in Nashville. Their daughter, Mackenzie, remembers that fateful day in November as the hardest thing she ever had to go through. 1 year later, she honored her parents with a balloon release. 75 of the family's friends and relatives joined her for the anniversary of her parents' deaths. At the event, she said, quote, "Today I find myself missing both of them equally." Mackenzie spent a lot of time over the past year thinking about what happened and why. "It was a very bad night, and I think he just snapped," she said. Mackenzie feels that it's by the grace of God that she's learned to forgive. "There is a peace inside of me that has taught me what forgiveness truly is. I was raised by a great mom and dad," she told News Channel 5's John Quill Newland. These days, Mackenzie is doing well for herself, curating a beautiful life as an online creator and influencer. She has 2 children of her own, and she has hope. There are occasionally days where times are tough, but Mackenzie still has lots of good memories to think back on. "The memories and moments are what you want to hold on to," she said. Fortunately for Mackenzie, despite everything that happened, Joseph Parker couldn't take those away. Please know that if you are a victim of domestic violence or are having issues with mental health, there is help. I'm going to put a few links in the description of resources and hotlines in your area. Please, 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 don't give up hope.